Next up, we have David Wash, who asked that I introduce him simply as a small business owner. David?
Greetings, fellow right-wing militia members. Listen, I want to just take a minute and say we really ought to stop picking on John Corzine so much. I mean, he paid a lot of money for that job, you know? I don't have any words for this state, for this Congress, for this president beyond this. They hold in contempt anyone who isn't dependent on them, and they live like royalty. We've gone from the rule of law to the rule of lawyers. Congress is a collection of trust fund babies. They drink their fine wines and they pick out fancy suits to wear while they vote on bills they never read. Does anyone believe a word they say? Does anybody think you can sustain the course you're on? I've lived in this state 40 years. My father was a preacher. We grew up very modestly. I worked in college. I worked for other people for 10 years. Then I started a business. I took business trips and I slept in my car. I thought everybody did that. I thought everybody worked their way up, did what they had to do, and made something of themselves. So here I am 10 years later. I did okay. But now it's time to get punished because I took some risks and I busted it and I made something of myself. As was said earlier, Joe Biden wants me to be a patriot and be part of the deal. Hey Joe, shove your deal! I'm a very patriotic person, but Joe Biden, shove your deal! So I live in Burlington County on a family farm. I've got kids. I've got an adopted child. My company's debt-free. How about that? I wonder how we did that. That's Corzine's limousine. So anyway, we employ 5 people. We're conscious to pay them a living wage. We're a small business, so the Porculus bill did not a thing for us. I called my congressman about it. He never called me back. I called my senator. My senator's too busy voting in lockstep like a trained monkey, so he never called me back. He fits right in with the rest of the book-smart, street-stupid congressmen who act like they just found a credit card and a six-pack. Including all of my business, personal, and real estate taxes and the taxes I pay on employees, I handed over about $500,000 this year, $500,000 plus. So I thought to myself, what did I buy? What did they spend it on? A spending spree orchestrated by people who can't keep their zippers up and live by the same rules I live by. 1 year of my life to pay for a coast-to-coast flight for Nancy Pelosi in a private plane. If Nancy's going to fly to California on my nickel, do me a favor and don't fly back. It took a year of my life to pay what they gave Acorn to carry signs and protest getting a job. Acorn has created a career out of not having a career. Their goal is to have 50% of the country be as lazy as they are so they can vote themselves the rest of our money. They're like a guy who's drowning and he wants to take the lifeguard with him. There you go. I'm probably looking at 10 lifetimes to pay for the earmarks too. But since I got a little bit of life left, I'll say a couple serious points. I just had 3 points I want to make today. Number one, if things keep going the way they are, you will see the small business economy have to slam the door on the workforce. The existing employers cannot create jobs in this environment. The only incentive the government should give is tax incentives for living wage jobs and to sustain living wage jobs. That's it. Government support of large businesses and the threat of higher taxes in the future has caused the biggest rash of small business closure and small business sales that we've ever seen. And when small businesses are sold, they lay off. Nobody sells their company and goes on a hiring spree. The only answer in the economy is to reward the small business sector, to create jobs and nothing else. That's it. Right. Number two, and this is personal, we need a relentless grassroots effort to demand term limits. No more career politicians. Do you hear me, Frank Lautenberg? No more career politicians. They're killing us. Congress should be on Social Security like the rest of us. No more sweetheart deal. Give them a 401k with matching like everybody else gets. That's it. If you take the cheese away, the rat will leave. And finally, I do not apologize to Europe or to anyone for America. But I'll tell you what, I brought my kids here because I want to apologize to my kids, and I'm going to apologize to your kids. Since Obama apologized on behalf of me, I apologize on behalf of him. And I apologize on behalf of all the big spenders. We blew it. We let these bums get into office. And the only thing we can do is chase them back to Chicago or France or wherever else they came from. That's it. Cut jobs to create, cut taxes to create jobs. Live like the rest of us and think about the kids. And if you can't do that, we are in deep water.